Please give a warm welcome for Varun Krishnan.
So I'm Varun. I run a blog and a website called Phone Arena with an F. So yeah, so like I started back in 2005. Like kind of got inspiration from people like Amit, who were pretty much earlier in the game. So here I'm about to talk about how blogging it was an accidental career for me. So it turned into from a hobby to an accidental career thing. So how did it happen and what did I learn, and just wanted to share some tips and like learnings as well. So I've been building websites, assembling computers, doing whatnot, like building remote control cars and all that stuff. So, but nothing, I've never ever dreamt that I'd be writing about technology and all that. So it was like yet another kid playing with all those cool stuff. Like something happened and I kind of started building websites for others. But what happened, they needed some kind of a portfolio I wanted to showcase. So what I decided to do was build something to showcase to others and kind of try to get projects. Like as I was a freelancer as well back in the days, I was building websites for others, and that's when the idea struck me. So I used to take a really long bus ride to college. So I did my engineering, so how many of you guys are studying for engineering here or are engineers? Okay, I think it's like half the crowd. So yeah, so you guys know that how boring those 4 years can be, and like motivates you to do a lot, anything apart from studying. So in that kind of quest, I kind of took to building websites and blogging and all that. So I used to take a really nice 50-kilometer bus ride from my home to the college, and I didn't have a phone back then, so I used to borrow a phone from one of my friends who was like kind of well-to-do. He had a smartphone back then, and kind of borrowed it from him and used Edge. Wouldn't believe like that was the connectivity which was available back then, and that was like so precious to get Edge connectivity in the middle of a forest when you go to college. And thankfully in our college, so the entire university phones were banned, but we had a special like an Airtel and Vodafone booth at the entrance of our college, so you could get access to data and everything. But still, we didn't have a phone. So the reason I kind of started blogging or started Phone Arena was to actually buy a phone. And when I tried to buy a phone, like when I wanted to buy a phone, okay, I thought I'd be spending 20,000, 25,000. But the problem was I couldn't really find a clear answer to my question. Okay, I'm putting my hard-earned money into buying a phone. So so they say necessity is a mother of invention. So kind of a selfish need as well. So I wanted to find a phone for myself. Everything was talking about the US market, the European market, but there was nothing for India. And I actually used to go to the dealerships and the shops everywhere in Chennai and also Bangalore and find out what phones are coming and what's going to be available, build a database and put it together. And surprisingly, a lot of people started using it, and the site pretty much went down as soon as it launched because I couldn't handle the traffic it was getting. I didn't expect it to grow that popular. And one day I get a call, like actually initially it was hosted partly from the college as well. So one day I get a call from the principal or dean, and I thought I'm going to be expelled from college or thrown out. But then the dean called me to get my suggestion for buying a phone for him. He wanted me to take him to the showroom and help buy a phone for him. So that was a surprise. And then it was kind of a mission to help people buy a phone. Like I started with myself and then I tried to help. So that's when the whole cell phone revolution started in India, like 2004-05. So I was trying to help people buy phones and gadgets, and it was a very interesting, kind of started early. Now there are like about, I don't know, probably 1 million sites doing that or more. But back then there was a very handful blogs or sites doing that. So kind of would say that did have an advantage being like pretty one of the only ones or early ones doing that. So I kind of started that, and it was more of a hobby. Like never thought it would be like my full-time job. It was just a hobby, like time pass, or kind of a cool thing to do, like to say that you have a blog, you have a website. But then things got really serious, and I used to spend more and more time on the site and other things related to it, and my grades took a dive. So I was like forced to kind of get away from this for a bit, and then landed a job in the IT space and was like working with a web development firm for some time. It was still in the back burner. It was like still a hobby, nothing serious. But at one point of time, I decided I would like quit. I told the company I'm quitting, but they said, you want to go to like Silicon Valley, like there's a cool project there. So I took the opportunity. I did go to like Silicon Valley. So I did get a lot of exposure there, and so this is a kind of advice to most people who want to like get to blogging or take anything like full time. Never try to like this is personal experience. So never try to dive into it without experience. So that can really hurt. So always being on a job, even though it might suck for the initial period, really kind of gives a lot of experience. At least you learn from your mistakes. And as a startup or being on your own, so it makes a lot of sense kind of experimenting before rather than experimenting on your own. So that's that. So I came back. I was in the Silicon Valley for about a year or so in Mountain View, and I've learned a lot of the energy in the area was like immense. And I decided that I can't delay it any longer. So I came back to India and I kind of quit and got to. It was still a one-person operation. It was just me running it, and then we are about close to a 10-12 member team now spread across India. But back then it was just me and one mission of like getting what's happening in the mobile phone market, what is coming up next. So that was the main kind of goal. So yeah, so that's what so something about how the internet changed my life. So yeah, so most of we are at IndiBlogger, so blogging makes a lot of meaning to those who are here. So just wanted to share how blogging changed like my entire kind of way of thinking of on life. So basically, I was a very like close-minded person, like close to myself in a corner, wouldn't interact much, to somebody who's like even speaking now here to an audience. So that's what blogging taught me. So writing, expressing myself on a medium, like used to even kind of be afraid to speak to even 5 people like back in school. So now I can like don't have those kind of issues. So yeah, that's what blogging can do. So it gives you a lot of confidence and morale to do really good things, and that's what kind of helped me. And like I used to be a very like obviously everybody wants to have a 9-to-5 job. You want to be very conservative. But then from then I moved to a very risk-taking person. So I quit my job. Was pretty much didn't have any clue what I'm going to do for the next 6 months. But then kind of managed to survive and kind of scale up from that. So that's the kind of confidence your users, your readers, and even your analytics gives you. The moment you see like this probably was we do about we handle a user base of about easily about 200 to 300,000 users a day. But back then, even seeing 100 users coming into the day, like on your side, on the blog, was like a big success, and it was some celebrating moment. But now we handle even 300,000, don't feel really that happy about it, but still craving for more, and as it becomes a business, you set your bar higher. So when it's a hobby, it's different, when it's a profession, it's different. So those are things. And so yeah, so I used to also have this passion for traveling a lot before, but never got to travel. I used to be glued to my PC all the time, but now I get to travel as well, and we developed a kind of passion for traveling as well. So that's something what blogging, kind of meeting people, like meeting a lot of you here, kind of very interesting, and it brings a lot of viewpoints to life as well. So yeah, so why are blogs and bloggers important? So basically, why do consumers or generally users go to blogs? Anybody in the audience? Why do you read a blog rather than read a newspaper or some other publication? Information. Okay, information is everywhere. So why specifically blogs? Is it okay? So it's honest, unbiased. You kind of have a sense that it's unbiased. It's like it's one among you writing something, and it's not some third person or somebody who's been asked to do so. You feel that it's coming of a genuine information coming out. So that's why blogs and bloggers are so powerful. So there are some instances of even governments hating bloggers because they have been exposing governments across the world. It's been in the news a lot lately. So yeah, so bloggers are really powerful, and they don't fear much to expose information. Sometimes it becomes a problem as well when they expose false information as well. So that comes into the accountability part. But yeah, so another thing, what is cool about bloggers is, as bloggers, we are a community and we respect each other. Although we compete at some level, even in similar, we blog about similar topics. What is great about bloggers is that we don't have any kind of, at least from my experience, I don't have any kind of ego or enmity with bloggers who are operating in the same space. So that's the beauty about blogging. You collaborate, you try to find areas of collaboration, you try to respect each other, and you also, at the end of the day, you have fun together, because that's what it's all about, right? You exchange information, exchange viewpoints. So that's the beauty about blogging. It's not about just traffic and numbers. So it's about like expressing yourself and also connecting with a wider audience. So I'll come to the next point, is about what blogging is. So yeah, so basically considering what brands, I work with a lot of companies who try to like ask us to review products. So why they prefer blogs? Because they consider that bloggers and blogs themselves are very approachable compared to big media houses and brands which have levels of hierarchy, and they do it as more of a job, but not as a passion. So I started blogging because of my passion for phones and technology, not because of anything else. So as bloggers, I think most of you have a passion for something you're blogging about. Say you like music, say you like food, you like say makeup or whatever. So you have a passion for whatever you do, and that's why you blog, and that's what kind of differentiates you from, say, the other mediums of information out there. So you have a YouTube channel, you like making videos, you are basically want to express yourself on a different medium. So yeah, so one thing about what blogging has gotten a hit is because of emergence of microblogging. So Twitter and Facebook. So I stopped blogging on my personal blog after Twitter. After 2007, I've not kind of even fixed my WordPress blog, because Twitter and Facebook have kind of are complementing blogging and also kind of like have a negative impact on blogging as well. So more serious blogging back in the day, it used to happen on like your own personal blogs on Blogspot and WordPress. But right now, blogging is also like I tweet more than on my Twitter handle than on my personal blog. So that's something. But that's also considered blogging now. It's considered microblogging. So that is that. And so yeah. So what blogging is? Anybody want to like just? What do you think blogging is in your opinion? Anybody has? Yeah. Anything? Anybody else? He says putting out your own point of view. Anything else in your mind? Yeah. So yeah, so basically blogging is about sharing your idea or opinion about something, and basically you're not doing like yet another story about something, but it's your views, your genuine views about something. Say you like a product, I like a movie, you write your views about it. Not just because the movie is good, or not because you like the movie, but because the movie was genuinely good and you liked it. So something like that. So that's so. What blogs are kind of like why they're well accepted is because it's more transparent, as we discussed before. It's an honest opinion, so there's more of so that's what blogging is. So I have like another slide coming up, which is what blogging is not. So I just wanted to have a slide called what blogging is. So it's basically you have a reader base, you have a blog. You write for your audience and you give back your views, and you get comments and feedback from users, and you give it back and interact with them. And at the end of the day, you build a whole kind of a knowledge space out there. So why do people read a particular publication or a blog? Because they think that they're adding to their knowledge, their personal knowledge curve by reading your blog. So at the end of the day, you're not only educating your readers, but also improving the overall knowledge curve of that particular community. And that's the reason why blogs, which have very unique and very well-written content, get like for example, Amit has some really excellent content on his blog about like say some Google tools and what you can do, and which you can't find anywhere else. It's something he takes days to prepare and puts it together. It's very useful, and readers who read it would obviously share it as well, and if they have questions, they would, or if they want to add to that as well, they would add. So when we do some product reviews, due to lack of time, sometimes we miss out on some feature. But users come back to us and say that, for example, we had a Micromax Android 1 phone here coming in, and basically you can't use the camera without having a memory card in there. So users, even before so another thing I'm coming to is, blogging in today's age is very challenging because your readers are smarter than you. So if you're trying to hide information or trying to write stuff which you yourself are not confident about, you're going to be caught in a tight spot because users are smarter. So we realize it every time. So you can't really hide info. That you need to be highly transparent in terms of information you share. And so that's what transparent information sharing is what blogging is all about. So what blogging is not. So yeah, so I know a lot of people just have blogs just for the sake of saying I do have a blog, I'm doing a blogger. Right, that's cool, but what value are adding to the entire blogger or a blogger sphere? So I would say it's a really bad kind of approach to just doing copy-paste content. You're not going, you guys want to build blogs, you want to get traffic, you want to monetize. All the intentions are great, but do it with your own effort. Okay. There's a difference between copy-pasting and kind of collaborating. You could have excellent content by taking viewpoints from 10 different blogs, adding your own view, and republishing it. But then just lifting content and pushing it, and that's what Indian bloggers are kind of notoriously known for, are not just Indians, it's pretty much a worldwide phenomenon. And so this copy-pasting content, that's what blogging is not. And then I think it's kind of dying out now. So link exchanges, that was a very popular thing back in the day, but it's kind of dying out. Google and all the other search engines are kind of clamping down on that. There's no more value on just trading links in exchange for monetary compensation or in exchange of a PV or something of that sort. You should probably know that you are violating some Google quality guidelines and even general ethics. It's just ethics, right? So just because somebody pays you, you're putting a link. So I think somebody was referring an example of renting out your house before. You say you're linking to a spammy website just in the case of getting compensated for something. Just put yourself in the user's shoes. You're reading a blog and you have a link below content and you click it and you get some spyware or malware or something on your computer. You don't want that to happen to you. Would you have let users face something like that? No, right? So that's what links, it's totally against link sharing and trading links. So there's a difference between trading links and exchanging links. Exchanging links is basically attributing. So people confuse attributing between trading links. So you basically find a story somewhere and you find it interesting and you link to it. That's totally fine. Actually, that's proper ethics because you are crediting the real source of the story and you are rewarding them with a link. And users who have the source link on your article, they know where to go back. And in case they even forget the actual source, they will come back to your site and check out the link and kind of find out. So all this I'm talking about because I'm talking about blogging as a profession. So this is professional blogging. So when it becomes a profession, you have to have ethics in place. You're not running it as a hobby. You're doing it as a profession, and it's a business. So in business, you can't you need to be careful about whom you're doing business with, right? And you need to be careful. You need to acknowledge that what you're doing is not just a personal thing that you're trying to do. It's just it has your own business in stake. So another thing, I don't know if IndiBlogger does anything like this, but still freebies. So yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about in this forum because that's something which is kind of it's a kind of a it's got a kind of disadvantage or a black dot in the entire blogging community worldwide. So what brands are doing, or generally companies are doing is, reward some bloggers in terms of cash or kind in exchange for coverage. So there are two ways of looking at it. One way, you can say that I am accepting this because I value my time which I am putting to generate this content. So I would totally accept it and I would be happy doing it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Second part is, okay, I am going to be doing this content in any ways, and whether or not I get rewarded for this, either monetarily or in kind, I'm going to be pushing it, and my views are not going to be affected by the PV which I'm going to be receiving. So that's a good stand. So most of them, most of the bloggers who are I know in this space are doing it do stick to that kind of stance. The say you're reviewing say a restaurant, and just because a restaurant is giving you like a free dinner or a free lunch, doesn't mean that you're giving a glowing review about the restaurant, right? If the restaurant is genuinely serving good food, or genuinely serving a good menu out there, and you again go there, dine in, pay your own money and eat that, then giving them a good review makes sense. But if you're just going there for that particular event or whatever, and next day you're not going to step in there and not going to be paying your own money and eating that, this doesn't make sense, right? So that's what is accountability, right? So that is what a lot of us are, especially the newbies, get confused when they kind of get approached by brands or even by companies who kind of try to do this. So I'll just come to that again. So yeah, so yeah, events are great, meetups are great, but then I know a lot of people who are just who don't add any value to themselves and also to others. Yes, knowledge gathering is great, but then what are you going to achieve by just attending events for just freebies and free beer? So that's something you can even bank on a friend on, right? What value you're adding to the kind of entire blogging scene. It's basically what's happened is it's kind of brought in there was also a lot of talk going on Twitter and recently during some kind of product launch, some bloggers that kind of just tweeting and sharing good things about something when it was actually not so. So truth can be kind of misrepresented in such case. So that's the thing. So you should probably have somewhat of accountability and ethics in this kind of area especially. And if you don't know, kind of reach out to your community peers who are also who might have a better idea. And so let's go to the next one. So one thing, like even Amit mentioned previously, and also somebody has mentioned as well, there's a lot of importance, false importance being given to SEO. So SEO, blogging and traffic, yeah, it does matter, but SEO is not all about blogging, right? So the moment you start giving too much importance on two things, monetization and SEO, you lose focus on your content. Content is the king, so the moment you lose focus on your content, you're not going to be succeeding much in, so there should be a combination of all the three factors. So first, get good content out there, then you achieve good numbers using good techniques like proper legal techniques, and then you get to a level, then you monetize. You don't monetize prematurely. So, yeah, so sponsored posts. So how many of you here have done or got an approach for doing a sponsored post here? That's quite a good section of the crowd. So what kind of, did you guys do something for free or did you guys agree to get something in return? Okay. So did you kind of disclose that you're getting something in return in that post you did? Like say the company is just giving you something, did you disclose it? Yeah, then it's fine. So basically what happens is, so what's happening now in the blogging scene is, so the users who are reading your content don't really know what is the genuine content and what is the sponsored content. And there's a whole confusion out there saying blogs are known for their transparency and the kind of frankness and being unbiased. But sadly, due to some of these, you can't blame the bloggers as well. It's partly part of the problem is part of the ecosystem. It's also, we have the brands to blame, we have bloggers to blame, we have, like obviously, we start out small and we have expenses to meet. I don't know, I think initially we couldn't even meet the server expenses. So obviously, and something like that would come through and I would be tempted to take up on it. But then, yeah, you should probably take a call yourself saying whether am I doing something which my users would appreciate. What if your users say, recommend a product, and if the product is genuinely good, they're going to come back to you and give you a thumbs up for that. What if the consumer or your user comes back to you itself saying, I went on your WordUp recommendation saying this product is great, but then it turns up like it's totally useless and I'm going to be stopping reading your stuff. So that becomes this domino effect, right? So once it happens on a particular product or a particular movie or something of that sort. So I know a lot of people give good reviews for movies just because they get the free tickets for the. So how many of you have gone for a launch day movie review or something of that sort and written about it? Or some launch event or something? How many of you have been invited to a launch event or anything like a product or a movie or some sort?
Almost everybody here, because they've all attended IndiBlogger meets.
Yeah. So, how many of you have shared positive stuff? Hope you guys don't throw me out of the event after the talk.
No, definitely.
Yeah, so this I think I spoke about. So yeah, how do you bring back the mojo or kind of sense into blogging? So content, I actually thought about content, and so never trade originality for anything. So voice your opinions frankly, and don't let anything get in the way. And so yeah, there's this famous saying somebody's giving you something for free, you're the product. And a lot of you has been asking about monetization and how do you make money out of blogging. So the moment you give something for free, so you've lost it, right? So somebody's gotten, say, a free coverage from you. So obviously there's a difference between getting editorial coverage as well as promotional coverage, right? So you, as an entrepreneur or somebody who's in the business, you understand better as to what comes as promotional and what comes as editorial. So there's something on that chart. So if you guys have any questions, you can probably get in touch with me later. So yeah, so as users are more smarter than us, right? So you write something very positively and actually it ends up being negative, or you bash a brand just because you have a personal vengeance with them, but the product is actually good. It works both ways, right? It's just proof so yeah, so a lot of people, like when you went to blogging, you want to get traffic overnight. So I would say that until like 5 years into what I was doing, I never saw it being a revenue generating opportunity, or it requires a lot of dedication and passion. Considering even now, there's more competition, you need even more patience and even more dedication into whatever you do. So, and it's pretty hard to actually transform it to actually a profit-making thing. I think many of them in the room, other speakers also expressed their kind of challenges into turning it into a profit-making venture. So that's something. And yeah, so I think you heard already about this from other speakers as well. Don't monetize too early. And yeah, so never feel ashamed or shy to ask for something like to be compensated if it involves a lot of your time. I know a lot of you try to get, brands or companies approach you for getting content and you're using your content. So the moment that happens, you should probably put a figure on the table, right? So you're doing it as a profession. You're not doing it for free. You're not doing social service, right? So you are bloggers. You're devoting your time. Content takes time to generate, right? You can't just like put up a program and come up with content, right? It takes your hard effort and time. So how do you bring a balance between being sensible, like not charging for a news story or something like that. At the same time, you require a 5-day in-depth, some kind of article or movie you want to shoot for the particular company or something on the chart. That's something you could charge them something. And like AdSense, network ads. So don't try to monetize too early because most of these networks have some kind of limit before they actually approve new publishers and applications. So video is a big medium. So I've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff as well. We have like a relatively smaller channel, about 6,000 subscribers. We've been experimenting. So video is the next big thing. And if you have a fast internet connection, I think you should definitely give it a shot at like video blogging. And yeah, so somebody a couple of them were asking me, how do you get direct ads for your blog or website? So you have to put your marketing hat on, pitch yourself. So become an entrepreneur. So you have stuff to sell, you have your content, you build a user base, and then you go out to the brands who are operating in your space and talk to them, talk to the whoever's in charge, and obviously that's how nothing happens sitting at home, right? Or sitting in front of your PC. You reach out, network, and then you try to get the direct contacts. So when we reached at Twitter most often, Varun Krishnan and Varun@phoneletter.com. So that's about it. So any questions? Probably can take a quick couple of questions.